the future of Ely. At Ely Outfitting Company, we are basically exclusively BWCA canoe tripping outfitter. Our business is serving BWCA travelers, and to be clear, if the BWCA is closed, we have no business income, and that has been our situation for going on 2 weeks. This is Ely Outfitting Company's 20th anniversary year, though we canceled the big anniversary party scheduled for next week. Our summer team includes myself and 16 employees. 4 of us also work in the winter. I'm attempting to keep everyone employed as much as absolutely possible, but our reality is that we have a summer team of 17 employees, but we have work for maybe 2 of us right now. That work is mostly processing cancellations and communicating with clients by phone and email about their concerns related to the closures. We also work with about 16 independent contractor guides, and closures are particularly severe for them as well because they sell their time and they have a finite amount of time to sell. They can't double up their future trips to make up for that loss, and they are also suffering financially. We're trying to be as accommodating as possible and supportive of our clients. We're waiving our cancellation fees for all trips with canceled permits due to the forced closure orders, and we hope that this will create additional goodwill and loyal clients. However, the financial reality of this is harsh for us. The number of our booked groups that have canceled since the first July 10 closure order, and I don't mean rescheduled, but canceled, is 128 groups. Those groups include about 500 individuals. That's 500 people who are not spending their money with us or any other Ely businesses. When groups cancel, we encourage them to leave their payments as a credit for a future trip. However, understandably, many request a refund instead. The amount of money we are actually currently refunding for deposits and pre-payments for canceled trips as of this morning is about $60,000. That is money that's coming directly out of the business bank account right now. That is only the deposit or pre-trip payment that groups have already made. The actual loss of income from those groups is much, much more, and that is a really big hit for a small business. Our business's ability to rebound or recover from this ongoing financial hit is severely compromised by the seasonal nature of our business, and because this closure is during our peak season. Complete camping closure orders thus far in effect have spanned 2 weeks and 3 days. The north of the Echo Trail closure spanned an additional 4 days. That's about 3 weeks of a 20-week season. Timing-wise, this is our worst case scenario financially. It's also a scenario that has never happened before. This is the first time for a complete BWCA closure in July, and it's the earliest there's ever been a complete BWCA closure. Seasonal businesses like mine use sales income from May through August to pay their overhead and expenses. If there's a profit, that might happen in September, assuming it was a good year. I've been asked about insurance for this type of a loss. Unfortunately, business interruption insurance for a closure of the BWCA does not exist. I looked extensively after the 2021 closure for this type of insurance. It's just not offered. I even tried quoting it through Lloyd's of London that insures unique risks with no luck. Now, if your physical business buildings were to burn down, there may be business interruption insurance, but that's not what I'm talking about. So how do we adapt to this? I've started moving money out of personal savings as a loan to the business. We're reactivating a line of credit, something we've never had to use in the history of the business. We've severely reduced staffing levels and hours, and some employees will probably go on unemployment insurance. And we're hoping that the BWCA reopens soon. In closing, I want to acknowledge that while people see the obvious financial harm to the outfitters, other businesses and individuals are suffering severe economic impacts now, including retailers, restaurants, resorts, lodging establishments, grocers, and those who've been evacuated from their homes. So, thank you very much. And I'll turn it over to Jess Edberg.
Good morning, community members and guests that are here, people representing all different facets of what we're dealing with. I also echo the great thanks for the crews and the organization of responding to the event that we're experiencing right now. Again, my name is Jess Edberg. I'm the Executive Director of the Dorothy Moulter Museum, which is located here in Ely. And I'm sharing how this July Lightning event is affecting our business. We are a small nonprofit historic museum dedicated to Dorothy Moulter's life, who has deep roots in this area and the Northland in general. And of course, everybody's invited to come because we are open. But even as a nonprofit, we do operate as a business because we have to. Sales of our proprietary product owned by the museum, Dorothy's Isle of Pines Root Beer, supports 60% of our annual operating budget, which is roughly $300,000. However, gift shop sales and admission complete our major revenue channels. This small budget supports all museum functions, but it also supports a large amount of free programming and an internship program employing full-time staff each summer. We operate on a seasonal revenue and expense cycle, with the bulk of our income secured in the months of June through August, with a disproportionate amount of it in July and August. Entering into 2026, we had an already difficult time experiencing an 8% increase in root beer production and packaging costs directly due to tariffs, even though all of our packaging is manufactured in the United States. We had already increased our wholesale and retail pricing structures earlier last year to accommodate the ever-increasing supply chain costs, and chose not to pass those costs on to the consumer at that time. We pulled back on expenses in planning our budget for this year and took a very conservative approach, which also limited our growth. In January, we experienced a months-long delay in obtaining root beer packaging that led to all of our distributors nearly being out and having no root beer, meaning no revenue in our off-season for up to 2 months. Immediately after the outbreak of the United States-Iran conflict, our shipping carriers increased rates and tacked on fuel charges to our root beer deliveries, adding between 3 to 10% for each invoice. And for context, shipping a pallet of 60 cases of root beer to one of our central Minnesota distributors costs about 1/3 of the product. We've also seen a decline in some smaller distributors ordering. Normally, these fiscal challenges are overcome with a decrease in spring retail purchasing for our gift shop, eliminating one or more of our small museum interns, additional cuts to our summer programming, and a pause on planned improvements or replacement of non-essential but very useful operational items, such as replacing rugs in the cabins. These tactics only work when we have an average summer visitation, and clearly, we don't have that right now. These past few weeks, we've experienced a 40% drop in admissions, leading to a 30% drop in root beer and gift shop merchandise sales, which has partially been offset by a social media campaign to urge our supporters to order online. This is critical, as on average, we make 60% of our visitation and 40% of our annual sales income in July and August. That sustains us throughout the rest of the year. However, I'd also like to acknowledge, since I have the platform, that so many small businesses in our community are in this same position, especially newly opened businesses in this past year. Yes, we are all trimming the fat. We're eliminating unnecessary or low priority projects and programs. Many have lost their employment. Many businesses were just hitting their stride after recovering from the COVID-19 pandemic and the winter with no snow. Loss of growth is never a positive move for a business, let alone a community. I appreciate your time and consideration for being here, and you as well. Please welcome Ginny Nelson.
I guess I'm used to just talking to a camera lately. My name is Ginny Nelson. I'm from Spirit of the Wilderness Canoe Outfitters here in Ely. I also sit on the Tourism Bureau, the Ely Area Tourism Bureau. And I'm here echoing what they just said about businesses in the area. Lots of people are feeling lots of things in lots of different ways. There's lots of emotion. One thing I want to be thankful for is that we are a community that extends further than the boundary waters in Ely. We have people that love this area and cherish this area, and it's a part of their heart. Whether it's Ely, Tofte, Grand Marais, I know there's some owners here from the Gunflint Lodge. So it's the community for us, this area is wide, and we can feel it. The people that send emails, that send phone calls, that reach out to everybody back here, and are doing their best to help support us emotionally, physically, monetarily. We appreciate it. As the Ely Area Tourism Bureau, this is a difficult thing, right? To market for the unknown. We have talked with Hospitality Minnesota, we've talked with Explore Minnesota, we have started working on ad campaigns to get things out there in a positive way. We can't just start by saying, come back to Ely, it's going to be fantastic in the fall, because we're not 100% sure. But the messaging that everybody is saying is that Ely is open for business. There are places that are open for business. There's fantastic art galleries and things like that around that are open. The restaurants are open. There is lodging open. If you have a reservation at a resort that's open, they want you to keep your reservation. Yes, they can fill it with Forest Service fire crews, but they can only stay for 1 or 2 nights, and they can't guarantee a full week of stay. So having a family there, a group there, is much more beneficial. I have, my husband's a fishing guide. They've been fishing all the outside of the Boundary Waters lakes, and fishing is actually quite good. I don't know if any of you guys, yep, okay. So this has been a fantastic time. I think the world is wanting us to fish and be in the area. The air has been clear this week. Things are open for business. I checked the campgrounds, the South Quishwe, Birch Lake, and Bearhead State Camp, all those campgrounds have openings. I don't know about on Tofte, Gunflint, but I'm sure a lot of those campgrounds also have openings. If you want to come to these areas in a time when it's not super busy, this is your time. This is like fall, but with warm weather. Restaurants, I said, are open. Lodging is open. There are plans, as you heard, to open parts of the Boundary Waters in an abbreviated way, and that will change as the conditions and the fire, is in control, or what all the difference is there. We appreciate people shopping local. We appreciate anybody that says, hey, go shop at a local store, or go to a local restaurant, or they share and like your post on social media is huge. Those are free things. Sharing and liking small businesses posts on social media is a free thing to do that really actually is a good benefit. The Tourism Bureau is planning a phased program to get marketing out there. So we have marketing that Ely is still here. We're still strong, Ely strong. We heard some of that as well. We're doing time-stamped posts, so you can see what the weather is like and what things are happening today. And in this area now, well, this picture could have been taken months ago and just inserted it. No, this is from the now. And obviously marketing is going to have to change as we go. We know things are going to open up. We know things are going to change. And so We are making plans with, once we know the Harvest Moon Festival is on and ready to roll, man, that's gonna be a push. We've got different things trying to help get information out there. You'll see different samples on our booth. But the word from the Tourism Bureau is, yes, we know we need to share this in a positive way. And unfortunately, not every area is 100% open currently, but it doesn't mean it's gonna stay closed for the long term. We know that there are gonna be openings, and we wanna support that as we go. And if you have thoughts or ideas about marketing, the Tourism Bureau would love to hear things. We would love to tweak our message however we can in a positive way. We do have a list of Tourism Bureau board of directors out on our thing. We can talk to you about who helps with that, and we are very open and receptive to that. We would really like to make sure that people are getting the great message that Ely is a fantastic place to visit now and in the fall. And whenever you think about Ely, shopping local on small businesses, if they don't have a website to buy something from, call them up. There's lots of ways to help. So I appreciate you guys coming today. I appreciate you listening to all of us babble about stuff, but we really have a great love for this area, and I don't know about everybody else, but I really love sharing this area with lots of other people. It's a really near and dear place to my heart, as well as lots of people across the nation. So I really hope that we can get that message out there.
Well, thank you guys so much, everybody, for being here. I'm Grant Hochschild, State Senator for Ely and the surrounding area. I was elected 3 years ago, and if you had told me that we would face 3 wildfire disasters, multiple floods, a snowless winter, and on the precipice or after the COVID pandemic, I would have been pretty shocked. But I think it's true what the other speakers have said, is that our region has really been through a lot of difficult challenges. But our region is also really special, and I think some of the previous speakers and outfitters sort of brought it up, but we are really a beloved region in the state of Minnesota. And I tell this story all the time when I'm talking to other legislators, other folks down in St. Paul. If it weren't for our region, if it weren't for the Boundary Waters, the North Shore, all of the opportunities for the outdoor recreation that we have in our region, the industries that are special to this region, from mining and timber and of course tourism, Minnesota wouldn't be the state that it is.